Hey, greetings everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is Private Will, and I'm back for another video. And I wanted to talk about this new games I just received. Actually received it last week. It's called Imperial Tide, the Great War, 1914-1918. It's designed by Gregory Smith. It's from Compass Game. This turns out to be my first World War I game ever. I actually never had one before. Now, back in the 80s when I was playing as a teenager, there was a lot of World War I games, especially by Avalon Hill. I'm thinking about the Guns of August. There was Richthoffen's War, which was more about planes. It was Jutland. I'm not sure if that one was Avalon Hill, but there was quite a few of them, but I never really picked up on them. No particular reason about it. There's not lack of interest or anything like that. It's just that at the time I was more into my Civil War games, more interested in Squad Leader, and also modern naval warfare games made by Victory Games. So that was where my interest was lying mostly. So I never really picked up a Great War game before, so it's a first for me. This one, pretty interesting. It says it's a 5 out of 10, which I'm not too surprised about it, because it's once you see what the game's about. It's a strategic level game. The units are strategic as well. It's 1 or 2 player. The suitability for solitaire is very high, which is one of the things that was interest me. Well, it takes about 3 to 4 hours, so about an afternoon to play. And it reminded me a bit when I saw it. It was I heard about this on a fellow war gamer's YouTube channel. And I was pretty impressed by the game. I was kind of taken by surprise. I wasn't expecting the game to look the way it did. And it reminded me a little bit of House Divided. I know if you've been subscribed to the channel, you probably know that I've played this game a few months back. American Civil War strategic game. And so this game kind of reminded me that. That's why I wanted to try it. Plus the solitary part was really high rated. So I'm gonna open it up. I already pre-made the cut just to be a little quick. I have to say, when I received the game, I was a bit surprised by how big the box was. I'll put this aside. I was expecting, I don't know, from what I was seeing on the video originally from the other player playing it, I just thought it was going to be like a smaller type of game, but I was really surprised at how big it is, and there's probably more into it than I thought it was. So let's open it up and see what we got inside. I'm just gonna come on, slip out. There we go. Just gonna put this over here. So we've got the cards. From what I saw, there's 2 sets of cards, Central Powers and Allies. And like most modern games now, you know, cards are always included, and they're part of the system. You really can't, it's pretty rare now that you've got a war game that doesn't include cards. I'm getting warmed up to the idea. At first I wasn't really that thrilled about it. For me, cards in the war games seem a little weird, but I'm getting there now. I'm getting used to it. I guess you can teach an old dog some new tricks sometimes. So the cards, they're pretty much all the same. They're per years, and they kind of drive the movement of the game as it goes along, especially when you're playing solitary. You know, whichever side you play, the other side has to follow what's going on with the cards. Dice, well, they always come with dice, but I got about a gazillion of those, so not a big deal. And it's fun. They always come up with these little Ziploc bags to put your counter. So that's always nice when they do that. Like I said, not a very complicated game. It's when you look at the rule book, it's 16 pages, and when you look at the type of counters you've got, you know, if you've seen, they're a little bit more detailed, a little bit more beautiful than the House Divided. Well, the version of the game I have, it's an older game, so you can see, but they're pretty much similar. You know, they're just like one regular counter, and it probably represents some sort of I'm not sure how many men. Sometimes they mention it, sometimes they don't always mention it. Usually it's about like 2,500, 5,000 men per unit, something like that. Sort of a division type of size counters. And I haven't read all, I haven't gone to the rules yet, but from what I could see on the other video that I watched, not a very complicated game to play. Rules are fairly simple. There's a few things for you know, that include like the Russian Revolution here and the use of aircrafts and things like that, but not a very tricky games to play. But seems very fun. I usually like those I call them like point-to-point type of games. You know, like you move from one section to another section, and like House Divided. So there's some clarification on the rules here. We'll check that out later. There's the solitary A's. So when you're playing solitary, you're following some of the instruction here. So there's well, printed on both sides. So I guess you just follow whatever happens per the turns. I'm gonna have to check this out. And then you've got the counters. They're very nice, very colorful, very thick, and I suspect that the numbers are probably, you know, as you get experience, most likely, I'm thinking that's probably it, and you get more advanced on the counters. So there's two sheets of counters. So the Americans, the French, this is Russia, Great Britain, 2 counters for Belgium, Italians, Romania, Greece, I believe this is, yeah, that looks like Serbia, the German Empire, and the Austro-Hungarian. Very nice, and a few markers at the end with national flags. And then this is what really got me interested into the game. This is a big map though. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deploy all of it on the board here. My table is a bit limited with the camera view. I'm going to do my best. Give me a second. As you can see, it's a very nice map. It's mounted. Yeah, it's a little too large for my camera view, I think. There we go. And voila, there you go. So it's deployed. So central powered on this side, highlight power on this side, and as you can see, like I explained, it's really very much like House Divided. You know, you move from point to point, and the armies are facing each other. So it kind of really showcase very well the static movement of the First World War. As you know, it was mostly trench warfare, especially on the west. It was a bit more mobile on the eastern front, but I think the game does a pretty good job of depicting that. It's a beautiful map. I mean, not a lot of details, obviously, because it's a strategic level map, but it's very nice. Nice colors, and you can see pretty well all the different locations. You got Stuttgart, Prague, Berlin. Now it's you got some mountains here. So I'm looking forward to try this out. It's definitely like an interesting game. I'm probably gonna play one game solo first, just to get a feel of it, Then I want to try it out with an opponent, most likely my brother, who's usually my guinea pig for these things. He's just not as much into the war games as me, but he doesn't mind playing them. He really enjoys history, so he usually likes to play those games. So I think it's going to be fun to play against an opponent too, just to get a feel of how the game really works. But yeah, there it is. Imperial tried the Great War, 1914 to 18, by Compass Game. So I haven't really read anything yet on this, so I'm probably going to make another video next week, more about the rules, and see if I can maybe set up a little playthrough of the first few turns, just to give an idea of how this game actually works. But in the meantime, I'm going to cut it short here. It's going to be a little shorter video again. We have a sort of a winter storm preparing. The wind is really picking up. Electricity's already been flashing up and down a little bit already this evening, so I don't want to take a chance that everything dies on me as I'm recording this, so I'm going to cut it short. But there you have it. So until next time, everyone, stay safe.